Today I'm the UX designer at the Technology Studio, based in Letchworth, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about user experience, which is kind of what I do. Okay, well, the point number one I wanted to make is that you're not your users. Your users probably aren't as tech savvy as you are, and so they possibly don't quite understand the same things. Excuse me. And the other thing is acronyms. I've grabbed that one because I thought that was quite funny. I know people who think LOL means lots of love, and that's always a fun one. And both of these things combined will probably confuse them, and you don't really want to do that because they won't come back. So point number two is to know your users' key tasks. And this particular graphic I knocked together based on a training course I did where is using a London bus analogy. It basically says if you stop your users from achieving what they want to do, then you've got a bit of a problem. If a user is confused, they will leave. And that's Mo Farah running away from potentially your website. So how do you keep them? Well, first of all, you need to research what their key tasks are going to be. There's numerous ways that you can do this: focus groups and stuff, or surveys, all sorts of things. And I thought this graphic was quite good. If you can't read it, it says, "I always make a list before I go to the grocery store. Sometimes I even remember to bring it with me." And the point I'm trying to make there is that people will come to your site or use your product to do a particular task. But there may be other things they want to use it for as well, and so you'll probably give them a really great serendipitous moment if they're doing one thing and went, oh yeah, I wanted to do that as well while I was here, and could get to do that as well. And basically all this stuff helps you optimise your product to make the key tasks easier. Okay, point number three is tell a story. That says, as an evil genius, I need to share my plans for world domination with my henchmen, so that I can achieve world domination. That's what is called the user story, for those who aren't familiar. It basically addresses who your users are, what they need to do, and what they want to achieve by doing it. And this helps you focus on what your users are there to do, rather than what you think you want them to do, which may be the same thing, may not be the same thing. So you just kind of helps you try to get into their head a bit more. Point four is testing. And there are two methods of usability testing. There's usability inspection, which basically involves early expert opinion. So it's kind of a bunch of people who really kind of know what they're doing with your product in your company. And they sit around and have a look at it and say, oh, there's some really obvious things here that we can fix. And it really helps to sort of iron out the really easy things. The second one is usability testing, and that's when you're actually testing it with people, your actual users, and that helps you sort of find the sort of nuances in user behaviour which you don't necessarily know if you know the product inside out. So it basically helps you get away from the grindstone and actually find out what people who aren't as familiar with your product have problems with. And basically, all of this feeds into the iterative development lifecycle, and I'm sure that everyone's probably seen lifecycle related things before, but it's basically analysis, design, implement and evolve, and you start at analysis, work your way around, and because software is never really complete, or websites even, so you're just basically going around that, just seeking to improve it iteratively as you go along. Point five. Listen to the thought leaders. And I'm really, really ahead of time here, sorry. Does anyone know who that is? No, that's a gentleman called Steve Crook. He wrote that book, which is pretty good, which is called Don't Make Me Think. And he's been pretty much a usability evangelist. Anyone know who that guy is?
Jacob Nielsen.
Yay! And he, with his partner Don Norman, founded a group called the Nielsen-Norman Group, and they're pretty much the usability industry standard people, really. Anyone know who that guy is? Yeah. That's a chap called David Travis, and he runs a company called User Focus, and he does a really good usability course on Udemy, which I've been fortunate enough to do. and he's where the London bus analogy came from. Yeah, he's really good. Other people probably worth checking out is a guy called Brad Frost, another guy called Luke Robolewski, and another chap called Jared Spool. They've all got Twitter accounts and they regularly post usability and design related stuff. And I'm sorry, but thanks for listening to me. And that was it. And that was well under 5 minutes, and I apologise. 5 minutes.